G'day, it's Mark and welcome back to the channel. And in this episode in our auto history series, we look at the Chrysler VJ Valiant and Charger. The VJ series of Chryslers went into production in March 1973 before being replaced in September 1975 by the VK. Chrysler had been fairly disappointed, aside from the success of the Charger, with the VH range of cars that had invested a lot of money, had a very expansive range, yet their market share had gone backwards. See the VH episode for more details on that story. Changes to the VJ series was limited to a new grille, which was influenced by the US Plymouth designs, round headlights instead of the rectangular headlights, and also reshaped tail lights. Model options were also trimmed to 3, the Charger XL and the Charger 770. And trim options were also reduced as the company tried to push a quality image rather than one of sports. The rationalisation also brought to an end the RT Chargers, although a small number of engine transmissions from the RT Charger pack were built in the VJ. So the range now consisted of the Valiant sedan, the Valiant Ranger sedan, the Ranger wagon, the Regal sedan, the Regal wagon, the utility, and the Valiant hardtop. The Chrysler by Chrysler also underwent some very minor changes, which only the eagle-eyed Chrysler aficionado would notice. The chrome wheel arch mouldings that were previously an option on the earlier CH model became a standard fitting, and the vinyl roof mouldings were also lowered in an attempt to make the car's height look reduced. The hand-painted coach line was also deleted. What was also a big change, and not too unexpected, was the deletion of the Chrysler by Chrysler hardtop, which is a real shame, but when you consider that they only sold 474 units, it made sense from a manufacturing point of view. They just couldn't make money out of it. Also different in the Chrysler by Chrysler was the colour of the badge in the centre of the grille on the CH to CJ models. Chrysler US insisted that the local Australian management put all their effort and attention onto the mainstream volume models and not focus on small volume, hence the deletion of some of these models like the Pacer and the Chrysler by Chrysler hardtop. It's a shame also, though, that the RT Chargers were also removed from the range, as they were certainly a great image-building car for the company and for the dealers alike. Part of this reason was also no doubt due to that Australian supercar scare that had resulted in the death, I guess, of the XU2 and the Phase 4 Falcon GT. So Chrysler started to apply more of a sports luxury approach to the Charger range. For the first time, electronic ignition was also fitted as standard on all engines except the base 215 cubic inch 6-cylinder. And as I said before, there were a small number of the E48 6-pack engines still in stock, and also of the E55 340 V8 engine. So there were, in the early months of VJ production, a small number of vehicles that were built with those engines, which, I guess for the lucky buyers, they got something that was particularly rare. But they didn't have, in the case of the RT packs, all the stripes and exterior telltales. There were also a very small number of Chargers that were built with the 360 V8 engine from the now defunct Chrysler by Chrysler hardtop, although that engine became more freely available in the VK, but that's another episode. Prices for the Charger also went up slightly, and now the base Charger was $2,970. The XL was $3,425 and $3,995 for the 770 with a 265 Hemi engine. Dimensions for the cars were largely unchanged. The length of the sedan was 192.8 inches or 4,900 millimetres. The hard top was 199.8 inches or 5,075 millimetres. The wagon was 197.3 inches or 5,011 millimetres. The Charger was 179.6 inches or 4,562 millimetres. And the utility was 194.3 inches or 4,935 millimetres. The width of all models was 74.2 inches or 1,880 millimetres. The wheelbase, again, carried over from the VH series. The sedan, the wagon, the utility was 111 inches or 2,825 millimetres. The hardtop 115 inches or 2,925. If you go back to my VH episode, you'll see that I reckon they should have put the wagon on that same wheelbase as the hardtop. And then the Charger had 105-inch wheelbase or 2,675 millimetres. Curb weight on average for a six-cylinder sedan was around 1,400 kilograms or 3,090 pounds. Spoke about the pricing before of the Charger. The Valiant sedan for a 215 was $2,849. A 245 Regal, $3,600. And a Regal hardtop around $3,765. Transmissions were the 3-speed manual. The 4-speed manual was available from 1973. There was another update to the 4-speed manual from 74 onwards. And then there was also the automatic transmissions. There was the Torque Flight C, and there was also the 727, depending on what engine that was in the V8s, depending on what engine you chose. Suspension at the front was torsion bars with leaf springs at the rear. Higher levels of equipment became standard from July 1974, and that was including new front disc brakes with a power booster, a front anti-roll bar, retractor type front seat belts, improved sound deadening package, also door reflectors, which were really just decals, and also a glove box lock as well. A Chrysler by Chrysler was also designed for Malcolm Fraser, the Prime Minister of Australia, which was like an extended limousine version. I don't know what that car, where that car ended up, or I've never seen it. I'm not sure if it still exists today. I'm sure somebody out there would probably know, but it certainly looked quite good. And I think the design of the Chrysler by Chrysler lended itself to that sort of longer wheelbase version. An interesting model that was released during the VJ series was the Charger Sportsman. I thought that looked really good. It was quite a distinctive colour and trim package. It was in vintage red with a contrasting white roof and also exterior stripes as well. And it had a red plaid cloth inserts in the seats, which very American sort of looking, quite out there for the Australian market, but I think it looked quite good. And it also had white vinyl edgings on the interior trim as well. It had a two-barrel 265 Hemi engine and a 4-speed manual gearbox. I think the automatic was also available as an option, and 500 were built. Chrysler, I guess, realised that the car, which was up against the XB Falcon and for most of its life the HQ Kingswood or Monaro and the Falcon range, sedan, wagon and hardtop, to a lesser extent the HJ Holden in the latter part of its life. But, it was certainly had its competition out there for it. And, the car, although the volume for VJ did improve, no doubt about it, I think a lot of that also had to do with the fact that the car was more conventional in its appearance. It moved away from those rectangular headlights and it had more of a sort of a conventional appearance. I think that certainly helped sales. As with most cars of the 70s, it was available in a wide range of colours and trims, with a lot of bright colours. Chrysler was also looking at, potentially alternatives, to this car. So the, Plymouth Volare or the Dodge Aspen were things that were under consideration. A number of those were brought out for evaluation. I don't think they would have particularly done that well, but that was certainly something that Chrysler Australia was looking at. A total of 90,865 VJ Valiants were produced, and this comprised 49,198 sedans, 15,241 wagons, 10,509 Chargers, 1,061 hardtops, and 14,856 utilities. Within those volumes, in the sedan, there were 879 Valiant sedans, 23,761 Ranger sedans, and 10,544 Regal sedans. In the wagons, there were 12,203 Ranger wagons and only 3,038 Regal wagons, quite low. In the Chargers, the breakdown was 5,091 standard Chargers, 3,223 XLs and 2,195 770s. So the base model was certainly the biggest seller by quite a margin. In terms of Chrysler by Chrysler, the total number of 265 and 360 sedans, remembering the hardtop was no longer available, was 4,658 units. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode on the Chrysler VJ Valiant and Charger. Please be sure to give the episode a thumbs up. It makes a big difference to the channel. Hit that subscribe button, and there's also a hype button as well. If you can hit that, that'd be great. Plus share on your social media platforms with your mates who are into cars. Check out the other Valiant episodes in the series as well. And if you like other models like Falcons, Fairlanes, and Commodores, you can also check out the Auto History series on those too. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.